Wow, look how young DWEEZIL is. Look at the fucking leather jackets here. Wow. This is like Greaser Frank and Greaser. This is the Greaser Zappa era. Look like they're literally out of a 50s gang movie.
Yeah, Frank's got an actual bomber on. He's gonna fly a plane after he plays his guitar.
DWEEZIL looks like the troubled youth that's getting caught up in, some unsavory characters. And his dad just looks like a dad that doesn't really care that his son is getting involved.
Oh my god.
And he's like, DWEEZIL's like, I learned it from you.
Yes. You alright? Learned it by watching you.
What's up, everybody? We're S.A.D After Dark out of Brooklyn, New York. Your new favorite band. I'm Dan Berg.
I'm Sifa Graffiti.
Check out our music. And check out us reacting to Chungas Revenge, Frank Zappa, and DWEEZIL Zappa doing this one. So that's going to be cool to see. We have seen one version of Chungas Revenge live with just Frank. So it'll be curious to see what DWEEZIL brings into it. And this was selected by our patron, Peter K. Shout out to you, Peter. We appreciate you. If y'all don't know, all of our reactions are chosen by our patrons on Patreon. So go over there, check it out, and tell us what to react to. Thumbs up and subscribe if you like the video. nice, very nice. Yeah, I wish there was a video just so we could see who was doing what, because I think I was fucking right, okay? Because this is what I think. So I think DWEEZIL was the more distorted guitar because that guitar sounded like somebody that grew up listening to Van Halen.
I was gonna say DWEEZIL Van Halen. He's doing a little bit of
Right?
DWEEZIL Van Halen. Yes. I feel like when the guitar started, I feel like Frank started at the beginning, and it started being shared with DWEEZIL, getting into that tapping kind of sound. Like you could almost hear the difference. And then I thought, like, what if they did this live and then they stood behind a wall, you know, and you would have to guess, like, you know, you
who
press
is the
DWEEZIL
guitarist
meter,
behind the curtain? Yeah,
or
yeah.
the thing. I mean, you know, DWEEZIL was in there. So I love his maturity of playing because, like, this picture compared to the playing is just like, whoa.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, well, if that was DWEEZIL at whatever age this is, then he's like crazy advanced. I mean, and we don't even know that this picture is necessarily from the same time as this concert.
Correct.
To be fair, but if he was this young playing like that, that's crazy. Which wouldn't surprise me because he obviously is really great at playing guitar. You know what I mean? But I really did hear the difference in the sound because it sounded the more distorted guitar. It sounded more 80s. It sounded more, not that it wasn't creative, but it sounded more in that like 80s box,
Correct.
if you will.
Yes.
Whereas the more clean guitar, which I'm gonna assume is the Frank guitar, sounded more similar to the Zappa solos that we've heard before. And he's always really outside of the box with the way that he plays guitar.
Yes, and a distinct tone too.
And the tone, yeah, for sure. But then also, I feel like most of the Zappa solos that we heard were from like the 70s and the 60s, and this is late 80s. So he might have went a little more 80s with the guitar solos by this time, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, and I also do think it's possible because he did do covers before of other like huge bands and other phenomenons that were rock and roll phenomenons. So he could easily, you know, pick up a little Van Halen twist to his like
if he wanted
style,
to, he easily could.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this picture of Frank is so interesting. Like if you said, okay, give me Italian American rock star, rock god from the 80s.
Draw me a picture of an Italian rock star.
That's it.
He's gonna okay. Look, he's got a mustache. He's got a black leather jacket with a black guitar to match it. Okay, and yeah, I mean he looks like a badass. I love this.
Hell yeah.
But I really think that's who it was in the respective soloists. Tell me if I'm wrong. And then also I got to shout out the fact that this was in Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Yes. Yeah.
And imagine if you're DWEEZIL, you're what is he? Less than 20 years old here, maybe. You're playing Wembley Arena. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And playing it like that.
Very, very crazy. And I feel like the melding of the guitars together reminded me of like Steve Vai's sound now, like in a way.
Which would make sense.
Yes, definitely makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like the old and the young, and then Steve Vai is like right in the middle of that, like in between them in a way. Or is he DWEEZIL's age? I don't know for sure. I think he's a little older than DWEEZIL.
I think he's a few years older than DWEEZIL.
Yeah, so it's like a good mix. Yeah, Steve Vai's got this new
That's
guitar
really
called the
interesting.
Hydra.
Yeah.
And it's like the way he's playing on the Hydra, if you like scroll down, it's like it's got this vibe to it.
That is true. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that.
All right.
Yeah, so tell us if we were right, tell us if we're wrong. Tell us who's playing the stunt guitar on this track. Yeah, so shout out again to Peter for suggesting this. This is great. Always love a nice Zappa solo. No one plays guitar like him. It's really interesting how, I mean, you guys, if you followed us, you know, like, when we started doing Zappa, like, he shot up the list of our best guitarists for us, like, almost instantly. Like, so much faster than anyone else I've ever heard, to be honest.
Yeah. I think I remember saying, like, his guitar solo was everything I wanted to be in life. Like,
yeah. Something like that. So yeah, shout out again to Peter. We appreciate you. Shout out to everyone on Patreon for helping to make these videos possible. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. We're S.A.D After Dark. We'll see you soon.